This is the weather forecast video for Tuesday, March 6th, 2012. Let's take a look at the satellite image from last evening. You can see some cloudiness across the western quarter of the country with a storm system that will be coming in our direction by the middle of the week. Otherwise, it was clear to partly cloudy from the Mississippi River eastward. Watch warning map from before midnight. Freeze warnings down in Georgia and South Carolina. A number of red flag warnings across the plains down into the southwest, and a lot of wind issues over the south and west, and some winter issues as well. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 6 o'clock shows some very decent amounts of precip. 3 to 4 inches of rain possible over the Arklatex and down in Louisiana, so some heavy rain there. Let's take a look at the 0Z GFS Model Run. At 6 p.m. this evening, you can see there's the energy over the Intermountain West with a trough axis in that area, and we'll have southwesterly winds ahead of that, and temperatures jumping well up into the 50s and 60s. 70s not that far to our west and south, but not anywhere near here. Wednesday, the front comes in with some showers and isolated thunderstorms. Be a bit cooler, 50s across the state as the cold front comes through. We head to Thursday. It could be a lingering shower over far southeast Iowa. Otherwise, it'll be partly cloudy and temperatures down into at least the 40s to near 50. Same thing goes for Friday. Could see 40s across the state with most of the precip well off to our southeast. At that time, heading into the weekend on Saturday, that upper level feature is over Missouri, and that's where the precipitation will be. There could be a few more clouds over the southeastern counties. Otherwise, it'll still be in the 40s to middle 50s. Same thing goes for Sunday, although it looks like now a couple of runs had a chance of some rain on Sunday, but it's looking less and less likely. But temperatures still around 50. That's still the case even into the beginning of the work week. Next week on Monday, the rain well off to our east, well off to our south, and storm system well off to our west, so remaining dry. A week from today, on the 13th, pretty much quiet still across the country. Several storm systems over Canada, pretty much a west-east flow with a pretty decent ridge over the country, keeping most of the cold air up in Canada and keeping a lot of the stormy weather in Canada, except for a storm system that'll be traversing the Gulf Coast. We head to the 18th. You can see trough axis off to our west over Utah, up into Wyoming and Montana, and that's with a storm that'll be developing, a low pressure near the Oklahoma-Texas panhandle. The Gulf will begin to open up, and we could see some rain and snow well off to our west over Wyoming and Montana. And even later in the day, we could even see some thunderstorms with the heating of the day if this ends up panning out, with the Gulf really opening up. But it's too early to determine well out this advance of severe weather. But at the end of the forecast, the 21st, still another piece of energy moving along the U.S.-Canadian border with a ridge still over the eastern seaboard, and that's going to have a storm system, a low pressure near International Falls. The Gulf opened again. Some more rain, maybe a little bit of snow across the Dakotas, but it's looking less and less likely with the warm air. Thank you for tuning in to the weather forecast video. We'll have another one on Wednesday.